That's better now. Welcome to West Virginia. This is day 1. Played 20 the beta. Got up to level 20. Decided to start it all over again. So this is the new character. Just walking around. Going to go pick up a supply drop. So hope we don't run into too many enemies along the way. Might go back to the camp though first. Drop some gear off. Supply drops there. Where's my camp? Sorry for not making a video for a while, but life gets in the way. There won't be any kid interruptions today whilst this feed's going, because they're all at school, which is good. Back to base. Scrap some junk. Yeah, what's the point? The only thing that's really done me over about this game is the apparel system. Clothing no longer gives you stats, buffs, or bonuses, or anything. You can put a hat on and it doesn't do anything. You put a mask on to protect your life from lung disease and you friggin' get penalised for it. Let's get some water. You need 2 dirty waters to make a boiled water. If you want to make purified water, you have to find the plans for the water filter. On the beta, I didn't find these plans until I got to about level 17. But your best bet for purified water is to use it to craft stuff like adhesives. Whoa. While we're here, we'll deposit our chems. I don't use chems in the game except for stim packs and Radaway and Radix. I use all chems to sell. Because if you use chems, you've got to use water and food anyway, so chems are a bit of a disadvantage in a survival type Fallout. Make sure you let some meat and vegetables spoil though, because you can use them to craft fertilizer, because you need fertilizer now to place plants on the ground. Where in Fallout 4 you could have just used fertilizer on to make those little plot things. Also, don't take a lot of booze with you, because it does weigh up, because each bottle of booze is one I don't know what system they use, £1 or whatever. I just wish they'd used the metric system, because it would just seem logical, since it's only 3 countries in the world use the imperial system now. Right, where are we going? Go. Oh, that's right, you can't press square anymore. Supply drop. Having a real good time with this game so far. If you're looking for more in-depth lore content, go check out my mate Oxhorn. Hope one day he gets asked to actually do some Fallout dialogue for a game, because he's got a great voice for a narrative. Just don't mind me, I'm going to light up a cigarette for the moment. Oh, we're back at Slocum Joe's. So we're going this way. Day 1 will only go for 60 minutes today. So we've got about another 33 minutes of streaming to go. If you're wondering where my other videos have gone, I took them down because nobody was interested in my survival run of Fallout 4, which is quite understandable. Usually these supply drops have got enemies around them, so just be wary of that. Where are we? We're at Farmer. Great. Sneak in. Take a look around. Sorry about that. Just had to talk to the wife. Right, we got our supply drop. Let's see what goodies we got. Hardened shotgun. Serrated Bowie knife. Multi-purpose axe. And board. Yay. Thrilling stuff. That was the worst supply drop I've ever got. Now we're going to go to the inoculation project. Pardon me for a second, I'll just light up again. Oh, hello. Someone from New Zealand. Right, so where are we going? This way. Now we could go in the farmer build. Oh, why not? We're here already. And it's all experience points anyway. If you do see a scorched beast this early in the game, just hide. Unless you've got a group of 4, you're not going to bring him down. Welcome to Farmer. Let's go rob the Coke machine. Medical supplies. Safe. Oh. I love it, the fact that the monsters in this game now fight each other. It's a great... Go away. Center of mass. Yeah, you've got to be joking. Alright. That's it. Scurry around like ants. I'll come back so I can kill you. Yep, since they can't jump, just get yourself to a high position when you get swarmed by ferals. It's the easiest way to take them out. There he is. Now you can't just put VATS on and instantly get a shot off. You have to wait like 1.5 seconds for VATS to initialize and then fire. They're friggin' fast though. When I played Fallout 4 I usually just turned them into zombies to stop that from being so fast. But if the zombies were too slow for you, then you can just put Darkness Rises, which turns all the creatures into night a lot harder. Take that. Scissors. Stay still. Alright. What, all that for that? You've got to be careful of the firecracker bush because it will go off in firecrackers. I think we've solved our ghoulie problem now. It's amazing that they followed you all the way from over there. Let's get some aid. Some fungus soup. The aid does stack up, so if you take one of each item you'll save your purified waters though. Just be careful using diluted right away though, because it can give you a disease. Disease resistance goes down by 50. I haven't got a mutation yet though. But some of the mutations are just stupid anyway. It's a throwback to the old Fallout 3 where you, if you ever done the quest of the Grove, where you meet Harold the Talking Tree. You used to get something called Ironbark, which was a mutation. If you remember, if you went to Megaton and you did the radiation quest for Moira, for the Wasteland Survival Guide, that also gave you a mutation as well. Let's take a look. No, nothing in there. Lead is good. As for prioritized looting, I suggest you pick up telephones, desktop fans, typewriters, fishing rods, handcuffs, anything that gives you gears and springs and screws, and copper. I've noticed that a lot of things in this game use copper now compared to Fallout 4. The adhesive recipe has changed as well. Instead of using corn and mute fruit and potatoes, you've also got to use purified water, which is reasonable. Because you know, you add water in it to make it more of a paste, I guess. We go onto the roof. There's always critters on the roof. Oh, there you are. Someone's here. closer you get to them in VATs, the more higher the percentage will be. I don't know if there's any perk cards later that increases your VATs from a distance instead of getting closer all the time. I don't know if you can hear it, but you can hear footsteps all the time in this game when you get to buildings, even if they're like 2 or 3 floors down. I'll go back inside. Oh no. Friggin' propaganda robot, where are ya? Don't underestimate the Liberators either. If you get them in a group, they will maul you to death. They're just these annoying little enemies that can fly and use laser beams. I have heard that there is a big one somewhere in this game. Or they might even release the big Liberator as a DLC. We've got a ghoulie in here somewhere. Condition's still pretty good. You've also got to decide whether or not you like to use single-handed melee weapons or two-handed, since now they're separate categories. I prefer to use one-handed melee weapons because they're faster. Even if your strength is really high, you'll still swing them at the same speed as you'll swing them before. Unless there's a perk card at some stage that gives you the ability to swing them faster. As for the shop for the items, I know what they're doing because it's like a multiplayer game and they want to cash in on cosmetics and monetization nonsense. The fact that your apparel doesn't do anything for you anymore, like buffs or stat buffs or increases your special, is a real big letdown in my opinion, because you can't tailor your build to your clothes. You just wear clothes for the sake of wearing clothes, which in my opinion is crap. It's one of the only things I don't like about Fallout 76. Right, let's see what we got in here. No. If you don't like scrapping and looting, then you're not really going to enjoy this game very much, because you're going to be spending a lot of time just finding items to scrap. And save your weapons if you're not going to use them, because if you scrap them at the bench, there's a small chance you might get a plan for a mod for your weapon, or new stock, or a new barrel, or a scope. Otherwise, if you're not going to do that, you're going to have to buy the plans, and since caps are rare to find in this game, it's going to take you ages. There you go, see, plan for pocketed leather armor chest. You will find heaps of the same plans all the time. I wish Bethesda would change the loot up a little bit in that respect, because if you've already got the plan, why do you get the plan again? It just makes no sense. You can't stack up the plans. You can't make the plans any better. So it just seems like a wasted loot there. I met a dude on the beta and his whole box was just covered in duplicate plans, and you couldn't do anything with them. You could probably give them out to your mates if you're playing multiplayer, but they've got to get them eventually anyway, so it just seems like a waste of time to me. I also don't like the fact that if you've got enemies nearby, you can still scrap and still get killed whilst you're at the scrapping bench. The game doesn't stop, you know, say can't craft anything because you've got enemies nearby. I wish it still did that. Is that locked? No. Syringer, big deal. I always thought that the Syringer rifle was the worst weapon in Fallout 4. It's part of the new exotic class for Fallout 76. I'm not sure what other weapons are part of the exotic class. Plus it also doesn't tell you what sort of weapon it is too. Like if you go into the inventory, it doesn't say if it's a melee weapon or a ranged weapon or a ballistic or an energy. It just says condition, damage, speed, weight and value. The only way to find out the condition of your weapon is, if you don't go into Pip-Boy, is to put them on the wheel. And I don't particularly like the wheel system in Fallout 76. I find it a little bit to be slow in changing. But what can you do? I'm sure after when mods fully comes out, they probably will change this. You probably get your old VAT systems back with mods, but I've been seeing a lot of videos online, especially on YouTube, about people implementing Fallout 4 mods into Fallout 76 because they say the code's nearly identical. And these modders have had years to practice their modding on Fallout 4, so if the code's identical, then but should you be allowed to? If there is technically no mod support and you're modding the game without mod support, isn't that tampering around with intellectual property? Put your comments below if you think that could be the case. My next stream video, I'm going to talk about the future of where video games are going to be heading in the next 10 years. I'm going to give some of my opinions and predictions. I also want to give a shout out to Stan Lee, if you can hear me wherever he is. Not many people know this, but I used to be an avid collector of comics as a child. Started off collecting Lee Falk comics and then moved to Stan Lee. And had many years of fine enjoyment of comics and content from Marvel. Thank you, Stan Lee. and I hope you're at peace wherever you are, mate. Yeah, we've got a new type of knife too. That's the Bowie knife. You would think that it was an upgraded version of the combat knife, but it does exactly the same damage. It just looks different. But the Bowie knife is synonymous with America. It's one of their most famous knives. I think it was named after a colonel. I think it was Colonel Jim Bowie. And he was famous for the Battle of the Alamo. So, if you don't know much about the Battle of the Alamo, I suggest you do some history videos or read a book. If you're old school like me and still read books, don't get Google to tell you all about it. Got to keep books alive, man. Do some of your own research. Go to the library. Libraries are shutting down everywhere. I was thinking about doing a book review of some of my favourite books at some stage. Leave a comment below if you want to discuss some books from the past and present and possibly future books. If you want to talk politics or religion, we could do that too. But we'll just keep it civil though. Some people are casual in their faith and some people are zealots, you know. I've met a few zealots over the years. Here's one of the new critters, which is the frog. Still didn't put spiders in. I've been waiting for Fallout to have spiders for ages. I know they put spiders in Skyrim, but it's not the same. I want to see some really cool spiders, man. Let's see our weight looking like on 41. I got to 45 minutes. I'm going to stream for another 15 more minutes. Then go do some work and then play some more. But I don't think I'll stream the next lot though. Since the current count of people watching at the moment is 0. Which is okay. I'll put it up on YouTube, and if they want to view it from there, they can. But if you want to play along, send your PlayStation network ID and we can team up and look around West Virginia together, slay some monsters, drink some newt fruit tea, all the good stuff that Fallout has to offer. It's also worth mentioning that this is the biggest map that Fallout has ever made. It's huge. It's absolutely huge. It'll take you at least an hour to walk across it. That's if you know, don't get any encounters or side quests along the way. You know how I like to, you know, give you a main mission and then you're on your way to your main mission and then up pops a side quest. Oh, that's weird. Look at the texture of that building. No textures. What's that? Whoa. You see that? The environment just like warped in around me. That's weird as. I can hear the sound of a scorch somewhere. They make noises and they talk to each other now. I've noticed that all the pubs look the same. So it's going to get very confusing if you ever get drunk in one of these pubs. Sounds like a robot and a scorch just having a fight together. Shortening. Bottle caps. Always look through pubs though, because pubs usually have recipes. And you need to improve your recipes. I haven't found a use for sugar yet though, but no doubt there will be a recipe to use sugar at some stage. I haven't found coffee either, which I think is really weird. I have found cream, but I have not found coffee. So maybe they will introduce Slocum Joe's as some sort of Creation Club content, just like they did for Fallout 4. If you do have Fallout 4, I recommend you do get Slocum Joe's, because the items that you can build from Slocum Joe's just greatly enhances your gameplay. And you get donuts and coffee and tea. I don't think vanilla Fallout 4 is any good anyway. So once you do your trophies, or you had enough of making time for trophies, get yourself a modded... Oh no. There's another thing that ticks me off about this game. Events just randomly pop up. It should come up, you are entering an event. Would you like to participate? Yes or no? But I've noticed you don't even have to participate in the event to get the event rewards. All you have to do is just be in the general area and 3 or 4 other dudes do it, and you'll get all the stuff anyway. So that seems a little bit unfair in my opinion. And there's no limit on how many events you can do too. See, joining event. I didn't ask to join the event.
Heads up, responders. The food processing machines at Mama Dolce's have finally cooled down enough to work again. I've set them up to make cans of stew using the ingredient containers spread around the factory.
It's another business that's made a reappearance in Fallout. I think it was in Fallout 3, the Mama Dolce factory. You see, it just puts it up there. It makes you want to do it, which I don't. Not going to the bunker. Got another 10 minutes of streaming and then I'm gonna kick myself off it. Oh, pardon me, got to stretch. How much wine have I got? Yeah, I've got to go back to camp. It's another thing I hate about this game, is that your inventory space is so limited at the beginning of the game, and then when you go back to camp you've got your stash box and you've only got a maximum of 400 in your stash box, which I think is really weird. Should be more. You can make bulks of stuff, but bulks require plastic, so you'll use up your plastic reserves really quickly once you make bulk items, because apparently if you make a bulk item you've got to wrap it in plastic. How's that for waste? You can't create additional stash boxes either. Once you make the one stash box, you still get capped at 400. So it's definitely something they've got to change. Or they've got to change the weight of stuff. I don't think that bullets should weigh, because it is not hardcore survival mode, so why do your bullets weigh? It just makes no sense to me. And the ability to carry your power armor around in your inventory is weird too, because there's no way that power armor frame would weigh 10 pounds. Power armor frame should weigh like freaking 100 pounds, man. It's just these little things that they've done for the game. I'll make some blood. I'll make one diluted stim pack. Now here we go, you can make nuclear waste, you can make fertilizer. You need fertilizer to plant vegetables. So you've always got to make sure you've got some spoiled meat and spoiled fruit. Even though I don't know why you got spoiled meat as fertilizer, because I was always told as a kid that you can't put meat in a compost. So, which is another weird thing about this game. Right, so here we are. Firecracker berry juice. HP 10, 15% water. We won't use that. Can make glowing meat. We won't use that melon though, because we'll plant the melon. Yeah, if you do get into base building, I just recommend that you just build a few turrets, plant the stuff that you need for adhesives, and the foods that you generally around the area, like if you're blackberries and mute fruit. If you can, try set up base near naturally growing flowers like rhododendrons or soot flowers or aster thistles, because it does come in handy. What are we doing? We've got enough for another turret. Good. Sometimes when you fast travel to your turret too, you will get attacked straight away. This is another problem I have with this game. You shouldn't get attacked the moment you fast travel to your base, because you might be fast traveling to go get ammo or more health or whatever. So you shouldn't be straight under attack the moment you get there. It just doesn't make sense to me. Right, food. Melons. Stripy melons. Now we've got to find a place to put them down. All this space. Here we go. What else could we put down? So far you can do blackberries, carrots, corn, gourds, melons, mute fruits, and razor grain, and potato. I've always wanted them to make a gourd water bottle or gourd powder bottle, because I have seen cultures from around the world make stuff out of gourds, which would be really cool for Fallout. It would make sense, it would fit the lore. Coming up to 55 minutes. I'm going to stream for another 5 more minutes. I'm going to cut the stream. Right, scrap some shit. That's what we're here for. Sorry for saying shit, but I don't consider shit to be a swearing word. I find the double barrels to be useless now since you've got the pump action shotgun. This thing is evil as. It's just awesome to use. You can get perk cards to make your shotguns better. It's level 5. So yeah, you save your weapons and then you trash them, and then you get blueprints to build mods for them. It's really cool. I can't make a weapons bench yet, so store junk. See, already up to 184 in the inventory. Now, if you do want to fast travel anywhere on the map, it will cost you money. So we're going back here. But I think all fast travel, no matter how far it is, you should cap it at 5 caps. Or 10 caps, you know. Just a flat out fee for all locations. Fair enough, it doesn't cost you anything to go Vault 76 entrance or to your camp. I understand that, but fast travel to an event, it will cost you caps as well, which I think is weird. Now, making money in this game is really hard, so what I generally do is just sell all my chems. Chems. I've been saving that. Already got 2 T60 parts, which in my opinion is the best suit in the game. It just looks great. It does everything you need to do. Having the X01 suit in this game, I don't think there would be any X01 suits. If you were looking at it from a lore perspective, there wouldn't be any here. It's just completely... Maybe you would find an Enclave suit, like a Tesla armor suit, or I think it's Hellfire suit, but I wouldn't expect an X01 suit to be here. That's all the drugs I've got.
Supply here, citizen.
Frog's eggs basically weigh nothing, and you get a cap each for them, so they're good things to sell.
Authorized to trade supplies and
there we go.
Requisitions now available.
Yeah, a bottle of booze is 1 cap. And that's even after you've just equipped the first perk for hard bargain. Better. And you still sell your wine for 1 cap. I mean, how is that any better? Any ammunition either, which is a really shitful thing. Because she collects gunpowder and lead to make ammunition, and you can't sell it. Even if it was like, you know, you'd have to sell it as a bulk product, like you have to have 200 rounds in a box for 20 caps. That would be fair. Because if people were going to export it, they would have to export it for a long, long time. It'd take them ages to get any substantial money if you could only sell them at a 200 bullet case, you know. I haven't seen bulk ammo yet, which is another weird thing about this game, because you could buy bulk ammo in previous Fallout games. It's like they combined some of the elements of 3, New Vegas, Fallout 4, and they just all put it into one game, and this is what they got. We've gone over the hour mark, so once we deal with these losers, they do look great though. I'm not going to tell you how the Scorch is made. There's no spoilers. But I will give you one little tidbit though. They're linked to another enemy in the game. Let's see if we get a really good shot off here to finish the mark and the video. There you go. Without a scope, with the critical. There's another one up there. I'll do this one too. Whoa, got him. Yeah, I don't think you should be searching these things, because you get radiation damage and you generally only get crappy stuff anyway, nuclear material or possibly one cap. It's just not worth the radiation damage you get from these things to loot them. Anyway, that concludes day one. If you like what you see, leave a comment below for some more. I'm not into subscribers, I'm not getting monetized or anything like that. I'm just posting content because I enjoy playing this game, and I hope you guys enjoy playing too. Get it as soon as you can. Amazon AU online has this game for $55, $60 I think it is. JB Hi-Fi also has it for around about $50. EB Games will try to charge you nearly $100, so obviously EB Games think that that they have to charge more for a video game. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.